Hey, Davrin. We gotta talk about Solus's magic memory thing.
What? Why?
Why didn't you tell me you were a spirit?
Because I'm not.
I thought we were friends.
I'm not a spirit, Tosh.
Is that because people might think you're a demon? Because I'm from Ravane. We're okay with spirits.
But apparently not with listening. I am not a spirit.
Hey, you don't have to be ashamed of who you are.
Never said I was, but thank you, Tosh.
I've made my preparations, Rook. Will you help me restore Manfred to the world of the living?
I'll do whatever I can.
Thank you. We must go to the necropolis once you're ready.
Spirits haunt the land.
Okay, Emmerich. How's this work?
We'll need assistance finding Manfred's wisp and drawing it back into his body. By pact and pledge, I seek an audience. By light and breath, let wisdom come.
You two?
Allow me to give you their full and proper names, the keepsake of ages and far-sighted curio.
Thank you both very much for helping with Manfred.
How polite. How fine.
Good manners in mortal kind, beyond the spirit callers at last.
Friends, my assistant, my ward, Manfred, sacrificed himself to save us.
We'd heard you'd abandoned Lichdom to bring him back. Your work, your dreams.
You paid the price. But it seems there are many flickers of curiosity in the Fade.
And only one you seek. Draw his wisp near. Speak.
Can I help?
Yes, please. Think of Manfred. Tell me something you felt about him. Concentrate.
I was always surprised Manfred survived what we dragged him through. I don't think it was just because he was all bones. I think that's just Manfred.
In the sea of the Fade, there are wakes left by our passing. Our desires, our fears. I leave this beacon for you, Manfred. Follow my voice. Return to me. Please. Manfred?
It worked!
That's wonderful! That's wonderful indeed!
Thanks for stitching that seam on my coat, Fred. It was coming loose. And nice new threads yourself.
Thank you.
Yes, we needed something to mark him as an apprentice around the necropolis.
It's a good fit. See you around.
Yes.
How you doing, Manfred?
Alive.
He's excited for his training. Manfred's spellcraft is coming along nicely, more or less. Some undead have the potential to cast magic. I believe his was unlocked by his journey through the Fade.
What was that like?
Dunno.
You mean you don't know?
Dunno.
We must work on that enunciation. Why don't you fetch the primer?
I'm glad things worked out.
I'm glad you talked me into it. As he grows, Manfred will better learn to take care of himself. I won't worry so much when I pass on.
How do you feel about that last part?
I have moments of regret for what Lichdom might have been. But none would make me exchange this for anything.
So, Neb. Out late with Rook, I hear.
Oh, yeah. Just skipping stones.
That all?
Why? You hear something different?
Don't need to. Rook had a bounce in her step. Wasn't just from tossing rocks.
Well, you know Rook. Probably sprained an ankle.
Right.
Need and knowledge.
This smells amazing. Does all coffee smell like this? Or just the stuff you make?
Coffee has a distinct aroma, if that's what you're asking.
Sorry. It was really rare where I grew up. And expensive.
Try everything once. That's what I say.
I want to, but sometimes I just like having what I like.
Nothing wrong with that. So, Harding, what do you think?
It's... delicious.
Really selling it, Harding.
Hey, I've known some liars, and I am definitely not it. And this stuff, it's good. It's warm.
I won't be upset if you don't like coffee.
He really wouldn't.
I know, but sorry. It's just this thing I do sometimes.
Acting so people will like you?
It sounds terrible when you say it like that. I know I don't need to do it. I just do.
Well, everyone you know seems to like you, so you're good.
Good job, Lace.
You must have been pretty tiny as a child.
Where'd that come from?
A tiny dwarven girl in a land of large human farmers.
Oh, yeah. I probably learned pretty quick that things worked out better if people liked me. If they agreed with me, or I agreed with them.
Some people like cream or sugar in their coffee.
Maybe coffee just isn't my thing.
Hey, Rook. Irulan and Strife reached out. They finished preparations for Syrian's funeral. I could use someone to come with me, if you're able. Just let me know, okay?
Sure thing.
We offer this form to the sky, the sea, and the earth. Thanks, Rook, for coming. I don't think I could have done this alone.
We're a team. We stick together no matter what.
Still, I appreciate it. Anyways, we need to light 3 more braziers. Each one represents an aspect of the self. It's been this way for centuries. It's part of who the Dalish are. Maybe the archive could have told me why before I freed it, but it's what I know and what I want.
I know it's hard, but you can do this.
I already buried him once. At least this time, it's for real. Let's head to the first brazier. Okay, the first brazier should be ahead somewhere.
How far?
However far it needs to be, I guess. I wonder what we lost. By freeing the archive, I mean.
Besides an opportunity to be called witless fool a dozen times a day?
Definitely not gonna miss that.
Velara,
Hey, Irulan.
look, if you need to talk, let me know. I don't want our history to make things awkward, and I'm still your friend, you know? Anyways, time to light the first brazier.
A third, we give to the sky, to share your story with the sun and moon. Feels a little weird saying that one with everything we know now. It's not the ancient elves' fault that Elgernon is, well, what he is. Did I make the right choice? Freeing the archive? Losing that piece of who we were?
Not every question has a good answer, but who you are is just as important as who you were.
Syrian didn't want our people to be defined by our struggle. He wanted to go back to who we were before. He said that's when we were ourselves all the way through. But that struggle, it happened. It changed us into who we are now. Just wish it were easier to know. Okay. Next brazier.
It's unusual to see all these obstacles in the way of a funeral. Death's hard to deal with, though, no matter where you come from.
Each obstacle's supposed to represent grief and moving past it, literally. But yeah, it's a little weird. Probably. Syrian would have laughed at it. On to the next brazier. What they did, Yevon Urus, to us. can never forgive.
With any luck, you can say that right to their faces.
Looking forward to it. Nev, what are you doing here?
What? You know I show up for you, Belle. They'd only let one of us come, though. The rest send their regards, especially Emmerich.
I'm just... Wow. Thank you, Nev. And everyone else.
Hey, as long as I'm around, you've got family. All right, go on and light the brazier.
Third we give to the sea, to share your story with the heart of the world. We always talked about visiting other lands. Syrian and me, I mean. Maybe the Evanurus did just that. Conquered other people, shattered them like they did the Doors. What would the world look like if they'd left it alone?
The past isn't just one thing. It's all the little choices and events that add up.
Who knows what choices we would have made, if they would have been better or worse. But I keep thinking the Elven were the first people the Evanurus enslaved. They broke us and kept us broken. We survived in spite of them, not because of them. But it's still hard knowing what I know. Okay, on to the next one. Okay, one more brazier to go. I'd always get the words wrong. In the rituals, I mean. Syrian would laugh at me. Well, not in a mean way, and he'd help me. It meant a lot.
So why are there people waiting after the obstacles?
It's a reminder that on the other side of even the hardest days, people are there for you. I like it. It's literal in a really reassuring way.
Yeah, that's a nice thought. I thought Dalish clans planted trees for their funerals.
This is what we've always done, that I remember, anyway. Well, we didn't use ancient magic before. First time I went to a funeral was for my grandmother. I was 7, had to climb through a bunch of fallen trees. By the time I got to the end, I was dirty and tired and sad, but not as sad as I thought I'd be. So I guess it worked. At least a little bit.
Balara, I'm sorry about Syrian.
Thanks, Strife. I'm glad you're here.
He was one of us, even if he never officially joined.
He died protecting Arlathan, even knowing the cost.
Saving the world. Seems like it might run in the family. Time to light the last brazier.
And a third returns to the soil, to blossom once again into life. And that's it. A Dalish funeral, or one version, at least. It hasn't changed much in centuries, from and to the earth.
I think Syrian would have appreciated it. There's a good reason it stayed constant for so long. Rituals help.
You know, I thought I'd be sadder, but I'm okay, mostly. It hurts, but a little bit less every day. Freeing the archive? Was it the right choice? Does it mean Syrian died for nothing?
Well, you sent Daenerys back to whatever nightmare he came from. That's not nothing.
That's a really good point. He wanted to reclaim our past, find the truth of who we were. He never got that, never found out what he wanted. But he did the right thing. And I got to say goodbye. That's worth something, right? Now I have to live my life. For him, for me, and for our people.
I think sometimes we forget how hard just living life can be. But we do it, and it's enough.
Right. Just keep putting one foot in front of the other. We'll figure out who we were, who we are, and we'll do it the right way. It's time we let the ghosts of the past rest. I hope you've found peace and that we'll meet again. Goodbye, Syrian. I love you. I thought I'd let go of Syrian the first time. I didn't. Not really. This time, I don't know. I still don't know if I will.
You never do. Funny, the things that wake you up years after you think they're gone.
I'm at peace with it. Real peace this time. So even if I carry it with me, it's lighter now. Maybe I'm not making sense. Am I making sense?
More than you think.
Rook, I'm told you can't feed the Hala. You've been so focused on the attacks. It's awfully easy to forget them. Thank you. It was bad.
I've got everything you need for kicking the Venatori right out of this world. Come back alive. No coin in dead customers. Bits and bobs for just the right price. back anytime.
Risen elven gods.
You spend far too much time here, Dorian.
This is where all my favorite people are. Besides, I have news, and every messenger bird I've met is dreadful at nuance.
Magister Parvus, it's good to see you again.
At least someone appreciates my presence.
You're our eyes in the Magisterium. If someone spots you here...
Yes, I know. Can't be spotted with the shadow dragons. You worry too much, May.
Well, what do you have for us?
The cult lost people in Arlethan, and leadership has fallen to Knight Commander Lenos. He aims to bring the city to its knees.
But Minrathous is already falling apart.
I know. While the Varantis' attack on the city could have been much worse, the people's fear in the aftermath is palpable.
And the rumors about the Archon are true. He's dead. Assassinated during the Dragon's rampage. The palace has tried to keep the news from spreading until a new Archon steps up.
And no one has?
No one dares. Not with the Venatori circling like vultures. The risen gods are preparing for something big. And for that, they need fear. Chaos.
Preparing for something big? I don't like the sound of that. We barely got out of Weishaupt alive, and we needed Solus's help in Arlethan.
And that's why we need to know what the Venatori are preparing for. Lenos is the key to all of it. First, we stop what he's planning for Minrathous.
And then we find out what the gods are preparing for.
Let's hope it stays that simple. One of Lenos' Venatori associates is often at the Cobbled Swan. Let's see what we can get from him.
We? Dorian, you can't be going yourself.
It's the Swan. Everyone goes to the Swan.
I'll head out right now. We really need to figure out the god's big plan. Dorian thinks Knight Commander Lenos is part of it, so let's track him down first. How well do you know Maevaris?
My reputation? She's been a prominent politician for a long time, and a hero too. We don't work together much. From what I've seen, she's earned the good name.
We probably shouldn't keep Dorian waiting too long. There's Dorian.
There's Lenos's associate. According to the shadows watching him, he's nervous and doesn't talk much, but does odd jobs for coin. Interesting, yes? I'll draw him off, you check his belongings, see if you can discover any clues about Lenos's plan.
Mostly gone. Warm. I don't even know what this is. Ale? Looks like he's been nursing it a while. Half-eaten stale bread, water flask, muddy socks. And this map. Minratha's targets. That doesn't sound good. A bedroll. It's definitely seen better days. And it's damp. Sleeping out in the rain?
Take a look, friend. One of a kind.
Hal, it's good to see you busy.
People need to eat. You checking up on me?
Just happy to see my favorite fish fry merchant.